A now deleted Twitter post went viral yesterday that claimed the Epstein court docs are out. It's 2,024 pages. Here's a partial list of the pedos that were on that island. Again, that tweet has been deleted. Below the tweet was a list of public figures and a follow-up tweet containing a link to a 2,024-page document. But those documents are, in fact, not new. They were unsealed in 2019 from the Virginia Giuffre lawsuit against Ghislaine Maxwell. However, the Daily Mail has reported that the last batch of documents are expected to be made public in the coming months. The material is expected to contain the names of associates, victims, and employees connected to Epstein. Now, it is unclear if some public figures associated with Epstein, including Bill Gates, Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, are named in the documents, but Prince Andrew and attorney Alan Dershowitz are understood to be mentioned in the material. And you might recall that Alan Dershowitz was the attorney who represented Epstein a long time ago, was accused of having some illicit involvement in the bad things going on with respect to, I believe, Virginia Giuffre. We questioned him pretty harshly on the show a couple months ago. Not you, it was me and Ryan Grimm and Emily Jashinsky. Subsequently, the person who accused him has come out and said that she thinks she misremembered and that he was not actually involved. So I think that's always important to disclose. It's important to note.
You know, what to you then would be the impact or relevance of some of these names of people that are already associated with Epstein appearing on this to-be-released document?
Right. So I don't know that there will actually be a lot new here. Now, there might be people beyond these people who are mentioned who I think had to consent to being named, or maybe they had no choice in it. So we might get some new names. I mean, people always talk, what's the Epstein client list? Why don't we know everything the government knows? This process does take time, but it sounds like we're going to get more documents, maybe more evidence or more dates for how long some of the prominent individuals were involved with him. You know, we've been talking a lot lately about Bill Gates and his involvement, for instance, with Epstein. That sounds like, you know, and he's kind of denied. He said, well, they had dinner and then they stopped having dinner. But he was still, according to reporting in the New York Times, that he was still meeting with Epstein after the initial conviction, when Epstein was convicted of sexual misconduct. He served, I think, house arrest or something like that, and then which was unbelievably lenient. But then beyond that, is still able to have access to powerful, famous, wealthy, elite people. That's the extremely concerning part of this entire story.
Is the idea just that we know more names, in which case names that are already associated with Epstein, it's a wash. We already associate them with Epstein. Or is it the idea that these lists or this document will include more details about how they were involved with Epstein, what they were accused of doing? Because, I mean, the implication that there are also victims on this list suggests opportunities for more details to come out about what actually transpired.
Right. Yeah, we're going to have to wait to see. I'm not quite clear. And now we should be, again, careful, because Dershowitz's name is in there too, and he has vehemently denied having anything to do with the sexual misconduct accusations, and now it is not facing an accusation. The person who accused him has recanted, so I don't know if there will be more of that kind of thing going on.
I mean, the implications for some public figures who are very much still in the political mix, people like Bill Gates and people like Bill Clinton, you know, even Hillary Clinton never fails to hint periodically that she could potentially run for office again. You know, it does seem to have higher stakes for those folks
The
than
once
others.
and future candidate.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
do you imagine her running again? You think? You think she?
There has been some buzz about 2024. I mean, I think that honestly, Hillary resents the idea that. I mean, I think she probably thought that 2016 was her last shot for her age. And then to see so many older people continue to run for office after her.
Wait, I thought I had to retire.
Right. Like, I can appreciate, I mean, she's younger than Biden. She's younger than Bernie, I believe. So I can understand her frustration on a human level. On a political level, though, absolutely not, particularly if she's also kind of continuing to have to field concerns about her husband's behavior, which I don't think is fair. but is the reality of the political world that we're in.
Man, we could be past that cycle by the time 2028. You know, Bill Clinton in good standing in the 90s, and then kind of exits the scene. Then Me Too stuff comes up. We have a reckoning with the bad behavior of certain male political figures. That gets brought up again. Now that's like been addressed. Then it goes back into we're done talking about it. Hillary Clinton runs again. It's a timeline that makes all the sense in the world to me.
In 2016, some people argued that she would have fared better if she had kind of run against her husband in some ways. Said that he was wrong. Really, like that basically that her positioning as a feminist icon was sullied in part by her choice to stand by her husband. Now, I think that the world is more complicated than that, and I'm not expecting her to get a divorce or blow up her marriage because of what the public thinks. At the same time, I do think that choosing to paint yourself as kind of this, women's rights icon is complicated by some of the things that she said at the time about Monica Lewinsky, that weren't exactly feminist, and a kind of a failure to reckon with what it meant for her husband and the power that he held at the time to be in that really mismatched relationship.
I expect that she thinks, or she thought, staying with Bill was a good political strategy. If she thought that divorcing him was her path to the White House, I could imagine her taking that path.
I think that's maybe right.
She very much wanted to be president.
There is one of my favorite podcasts. It's called The West Wing Thing, and they watch every episode and kind of skewer the neoliberal politics thereof. And they did a series of special episodes about some of those master classes, including Hillary Clinton's master class. And so I watched the entirety of it, and there was this very interesting way that she dances around some of those inconvenient moments in her past, and also surrounds herself with young women like Huma Abedin, again, who has also been slighted in those kinds of ways, to form like a barrier wall of wronged women, And obviously I empathize on some level. Like, it's not Hillary Clinton's fault that Bill Clinton did what he did. It's not Huma Abedin's fault that she's married to Anthony Weaver. These men are ruining lives, ruining political careers, etc. But it also is such an odd thing to lean so hard into the yes queen woman of it all when you don't acknowledge the fact that you stay with these people and that you have said disparaging things about the people.
Did Huma Abedin and Anthony Weiner, they they divorced, right?
They were back and forth. I mean, they had a young child together. I think they were back and forth for a little bit of a while. But
divorced.
They were all presented with these scenes of them at the first initial press conference where the women have to stand there kind of hangdog and supportive. And it's a difficult thing to reconcile. So that's a bit of a frolicking detour from the Jeffrey Epstein documents and what, whether or not they're going to come out and what they
are coming out. We'll have to wait to see what is novel about them. Although that, again, leading with the story here, that tweet promising, here it is, a bunch of that was old material. So I think some people on social media got their hopes up about that. But that was just
It's weird material. Hopes. It's a weird thing to be hoping and doing about.
People want justice for victims of sexual misconduct, Briahna. And to find out that all political figures everywhere are culpable and involved in just this utterly hideous
that's the thing.
crime.
I mean, it's also odd politically because there is a way
it's
that
not really a right-left thing.
That's what I was going to say. So many, obviously, conservatives have really taken up this idea of
it's an elites versus
being on a
thing.
hunt for pedophiles and finding them everywhere in pizza shops, drag shows, etc. Obviously, I don't mean that they're actually being found there.
Right.
At the same time that,
at the same time, there was an
Donald
island.
Trump was standing there with his arm around.
At the same time, there was an
Jeffrey
island with a
Epstein.
very wealthy man who could get Bill Clinton and Donald Trump and Bill Gates on the phone in an instant.
It's a big
engaged
club.
in
You're not in it.
pedophilia. Okay, tomorrow on Rising, we'll be right back here to bring you updates on all the biggest stories of the week.
Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss any content. And for those of you who prefer to listen while on the go, we are now available anywhere you listen to podcasts.
See you later.
Bye-bye.